You're listening to Francis Oblivion and the Mad Undead by J. Johnson Higgins. This audiobook edition is a Kiss the Widow production.
Chapter 9. Preliminary Thoughts on the New Companion.
Journal of Dr. Rebecca T.D. Stars Aza, October 14th. It's been a while since my last good entry. Lately, I've focused so much more on just doing what needs to be done. These days, it's only occasionally that I revisit my notes to fill in the blanks and other housekeeping matters, but today I feel like I have a good reason to write. I need to reflect. I have a lot on my mind. I've done some things that may be hard to undo at this point. I said that I would keep everyone safe in the sanctuary until my Francis problem has been resolved, that I would focus on that mission alone. I said that if by chance I discovered other people wandering around, unaffected by my first spell, that I would try again to put them under that same protection without question. It would be for their good as well as mine, safety for them, no distractions for me. I've been sticking to this pledge since creating the sanctuary. I'd only found 5 people. The first 4 I immediately put into the sanctuary. This was within weeks of my spell, but something was different about this 5th person who didn't surface until months later. I'd rejected company so that I could drive these empty roads and explore these deserted buildings efficiently. I know what I'm doing, and I can do it much faster without company. It's true. I give myself time limits for open exposure. I time my visits to and from the city and then race my previous records, weather permitting. I log them like a scoreboard. I've challenged myself again and again to keep things interesting. Today, though, I've offered myself a new challenge, to break my promise of solitude. Finding someone else was a shock after all this time, a longer gap of maybe 7 months, and my reaction to him seemed automatic. It's like the man appeared out of nowhere, and I couldn't control myself once I'd met him. I wanted to make sure he was okay, feed him, and protect him. I realized how much I'd missed people when he appeared, and I'm sure it showed, no matter my intentions. I've been operating as if in a bubble, unchecked, on my own terms, and with a single mission: deal with Francis Oblivion and the Mad Undead. Now, I need to consider looking out for the welfare of another person. Isn't this exactly what I was trying to avoid by creating the sanctuary and making my promise? It's too dangerous for other people right now. I've already established that and learned my lesson last year, the hard way. Therefore, I have a very big decision to make. Do I put this new person into the sanctuary like the others or not? The laws of magic say that I should not generally act against a person's will. This is a fundamental rule and a rather clear one. Well, the sanctuary spell was against everyone's will, so I've already violated that law in a big way. If I do not put him into the sanctuary with the others, he'll be in danger too, though, and one could say I'd be following inconsistent principles. There is no correct answer. It's all about protection, isn't it? I ask these questions now, but my actions have already spoken for themselves. He's still with me. He's right here in the lighthouse, in the flesh, in this very room with me, resting beside me. Let me elaborate. He is not just resting like a stranger I recently met. On the contrary, he's made himself quite comfortable with me and is laying like a child under my arm, his head in my lap while I think things over. No, this is not standard operating procedure for men I've just met, but it is cute, I'll admit. If I touched his face right now, I'm sure he wouldn't budge. See? He didn't move. He's exhausted and probably should be a complete fucking wreck after what he's just been through. Poor guy. From what I've observed so far, he's usually calm, but he has had recurring nightmares since the missile strike, he tells me. I'd gotten my first taste of his bad dreams today, too. He fell asleep and had an intense nightmare a short while ago. When he woke up from it in a complete panic, I had to grab hold of him, sit him down, and remind him of where he was. I had to reassure him that everything would be just fine. That's how we ended up here like this in this wonderful position. He's finally calm and asleep again. I'll accept him being passed out like a kitten, but I can't move right now. Damn it. So here I am with the journal. 7 months ago, this scenario would never have been. I'd never have allowed another person to even temporarily stay with me. In a snap, I'd have whisked them away to the sanctuary with the others. It would have been an easy decision to make, but it just isn't anymore. It's like things have changed, or I've changed, or both. For every reason I can give for putting him in the sanctuary, the premise being his safety, I immediately summon at least 2 main reasons why I should not, and those reasons, while not as objective as I'd like them to be, are quite compelling. The basic outline of them being the following. Reason number 1, the power of names. I have his name, he has mine, and we have shared experience regarding the mad undead and their ruler. What do I mean? Well, knowing and repeating a person's name is perhaps one of the most basic forms of magic, and it's even more powerful when given to a stranger who retains it and repeats it. It places people more permanently into each other's universe, and binds them to us whether we like it or not. It makes us continue to cross their path for better or for worse. I gave him my full name by the time we reached the lighthouse. I could have easily stuck with my club name, Stars, but I didn't. Now he is both. He'd given me his full name too, Adrian Eckenrode. I learned his name after he'd been chased by the mad undead and survived. Those few things, as simple as they are, tie him to me and anchor him outside of the sanctuary. Did I know other people's names before the spell? Of course I did, but they did not experience the mad undead or know about Francis, and they did not know about the sanctuary. Adrian knows about all 3, and that makes him fundamentally different from anyone I've met. He is not like the other 4 people I'd met. It makes him belong here. The combination makes it harder for him to simply move on, and that alone generates a more powerful force that would surely compromise any attempts at a spell against his will. We belong in each other's world because of this name exchange. Names are how beasts are summoned, spells are broken, curses are erected, and blessings are put in place. For this, the very least I could do is offer him the protection I have access to in this world, outside the sanctuary, of course. Otherwise, I've just put a curse on him by meeting him under these stars, chanting his name, and doing nothing more as a cursed woman. Every action or inaction has been a form of magic this year, and I don't take it lightly. While he knows about the creature threatening us, he has asked to remain here with me regardless. Reason number 2, sanity. I might just need Adrian's help in the meantime to keep a clear head before pulling off my plan to defeat Francis. 7 full months does not sound like a very long time, but I assure you that it is. At first, I liked being on my own and having no concerns but my own, but that quickly changed. It's been over half a year, you know? Ask yourself, what were you doing half a year ago? What did the weather feel like? What hadn't happened yet? Exactly. Now, imagine that the whole time that you were alone, watching your life pass by, and constantly reminded of death in the most twisted, unbelievable ways. It's a very odd world indeed, and soon you want your old world back, even with all its so-called problems, uncertainties, and complications. But we can't go back. We've learned too much about ourselves over this time, and it's more like an upward spiral, crossing the same longitude and latitude, but at a higher elevation. There have been nights where I've cried myself to sleep from the isolation here and the feeling of worthlessness, and more frequently lately. I feel different already after meeting Adrian though, and it is not just a projection. I need to be strong for him, yes, but I realized I was already strong, otherwise I would not be here. He simply reminded me of why I was really doing what I was doing. All of that aside, I have had some general second thoughts about using the sanctuary to face the demon on my own. What if I fail? What happens then? Is life as we know it over, considering that everyone else will be defenseless in a small bottle that Francis can easily take? Maybe I need to trust people more and share my burdens. Finding Adrian was serendipitous, and maybe he is a sign that I was never meant to face Francis alone after all. Adrian has also accelerated the timeline for my actions just by being here. If not for me, at least, because I don't think he deserves to be trapped here any longer and shouldn't have to wait for his normal life on my account. He's truly caused me to re-examine how and when I get things done. That is a good thing. I can't be complacent. All these things will be addressed, but I need to think. No rash actions today. Adrian should just rest. He seems to be doing a good job at that.
This story is 100% original and written by a human, yours truly, the author. AI was not used to write, prompt, organize, or otherwise generate this story. This audiobook edition was, however, created using licensed text-to-voice software with a lifelike casting and intonation manually adjusted and refined line by line by me, an art in and of itself. The theme music was written and produced by Kiss the Widow. If you like what you've found so far, please like and follow, subscribe, and share. Also, please be sure to check out my socials.